At my church, we recently replaced 22 of these incandescent stage lights with 6 Chauvet R2X wash fixtures for our front stage lighting. These new fixtures have worked out super well. They are brighter, they use less power, they're more flexible, and they require no bulb replacements. In this video, I'm going to give you a full picture of why and how we did this project. At the end, I'm also going to share with you some of my worst mistakes with these new R2X fixtures. There's always a learning curve when you're doing this stuff. If we have not met, hi, I'm Nathan from Crazy Amazing Designs. When I joined the staff team at this church, I realized our stage lighting was good, but not great. Like, it was bad enough to get put on a list, but not very high on the list. As time went on, I got to see the types of events that our space is used for, and I realized that for us, what would be awesome would be to replace our fixed spotlights with moving LED fixtures. If you are considering a project like this, then you have probably already discovered the big 3 reasons to replace lighting like this. Number 1, they create lots of heat. Number 2, they create lots of heat because they use a lot of electricity. And number 3, they use incandescent light bulbs that need replaced a lot. These old lights are not bright compared to these new LEDs. Among our 22 old fixtures, I often had 4 of them aimed at the same stage position. All of these reasons are great for taking to leadership as reasons to get a project like this moving along. This means the big 3 reasons to replace lights like this are new style lights are LED and brighter, new style lights are physically much cooler, and new style lights don't have bulbs that burn out. We do church here in our gym each week. The space gets transformed twice a week by our amazing facilities team. For our environment, I was very interested in a 4th category, motion. These old standard LECO fixtures can be only adjusted by physically unlocking them, then moving them, by the way, they're really hot, then retightening them, all while I'm 40 feet in the air. Now, we do have this man lift, but still, to get up here and re-aim these lights is not a quick process. All of the lights are set to positions for us on Sundays, but there are a lot of other random events that we do throughout the year. So having the ability to adjust them from the ground is awesome. Now when we do one-off events, I can change all the lights to better serve that specific event. Beyond that, we can even change the fixture's positions during a service. We have added fixture position changes to our Sunday service cues so that we have some subtle position changes happening during the service. For example, during songs, we have 4 lights on our pullout and 2 more on the backline band members. Nothing on the podium. So for announcements, I have a cue set up to pull the 2 from the back band to the podium. Then for the message, we have 2 fixtures on the podium and 4 fixtures brightening up the rest of the pullout in case the pastor decides to move around. These new moving fixtures have been a massive upgrade for our church that meets in our gym. The ability to change positions immediately proved itself essential for our space. Now I'm going to get off of this man lift. I've got this Q&A that I'd like to talk through for the rest of this video. First, let's start by answering the question, what exactly did we do? So we purchased and installed 6 Chauvet R2X wash fixtures that are all variable white. I took down 6 non-working fixtures and used the clamps from the old lights to hang the new ones. I tried to remove the worst of the fixtures. There were some that were so dim that they literally produced way more heat than illumination. Well, here I am going up in the lift this morning. I've got 2 brand new light fixtures ready to go. So why variable white? I purchased intentionally the variable white version of the R2X fixtures because it's not necessary for these fixtures to be color. The variable white allows us to have a really good control of the color temperature. In the past, I've used my Chauvet Park White 18s for front lighting, and it's kind of a pain to mix RGB to get the color correct. This event at the pavilion is one place I took and used them, and it looks good, but it's really not great. The question of how many fixtures do we actually need is very interesting. Our normal Sunday service stage plot consists of this. Our backline band is our violin, our keys, our electric, our bass, our percussion, and then our drum kit. So we have a stage section that pulls out from under the stage, and this is where our vocalists lead worship from. Typically, there are 3 vocalists out there with the podium in the center. So we purchased 6 R2X fixtures, and I've got 4 of them aimed at the pullout and 2 aimed at the backline band, one on the keys and violin platform, and then one at the bass. And I'm gonna order 2 more that I'm gonna aim at the percussion and electric positions. That'll very well evenly cover our worship team. That being the priority, since that's what we're doing literally every week. Any other events we do are just going to be able to utilize whatever we have, but to be able to change the positions is still huge. So the question of how did I hang the new lights? So I used our man lift. I took down 8 of the old lights one at a time, and my intern Hunter removed the clamps and moved them to the new fixtures. I then took them up 1 or 2 at a time and mounted them on the bars. The old lights, they took up so much space. I was really impressed by how little space the new fixtures, those things are super compact. Let's talk about the power needs. So obviously we are moving from dumb spotlights that are connected to the dimmer system to LED lights that need constant power. We don't want to connect these to the dimmer system because bad things happen to our new lights that are connected to non-consistent power. So fortunately there are outlets available up there, just a hop and a skip away from the fixtures mounting locations. So I bought 25-foot rolls of 12 gauge wire from Lowe's, and then I attached Edison connectors as well as PowerCon connectors. I ran the wire from the outlet in each section to the first fixture in each section. I also made cables to daisy chain the PowerCon from fixture to fixture in each of the groupings. I used a lot of zip ties to make sure that everything looks presentable up there, meaning that it's also going to look presentable from the ground. And I think it turned out really well, looks really nice, and I'm really excited about the installation. So DMX, to actually control these things, how did that work? So above our stage, we have a grouping of light fixtures that supposedly provide some color to the stage area. And in the past, someone had run a DMX cable from this position to those moving lights that I told you I took down. So I simply moved that DMX to my first R2X wash fixture and then bought 3-pin DMX to daisy chain the rest of the fixtures together. So there is a DMX cable coming across here, and that is coming over to this fixture. We've got DMX in, DMX out, and then that's running over to that one over there. From there, we're going over to there, and then plugging into 2 more fixtures that I'm gonna put on the far end. And then there's a long DMX cable going across the ceiling over to there, where you can see the first of 2 fixtures are up over there. So I've been basically running the wire along the ceiling here, trying to make it really nice, going around all the different trusses and the ceiling. So yeah, now I gotta go over there, and I got 2 cables hanging. One's the in, one's the through. So I'm gonna head over there. I've also got some cable to daisy chain those fixtures together. And these ones should be ready to go. Actually, I need to go back over there to plug the power outlet actually into the outlet. I didn't have the ends made over here, so I wasn't able to plug that in when I was over there originally when I ran the wire. So the power is running from there up the beam over to the middle here, and then going over to there, and then daisy chaining over to here. So yeah, excited to get these fixtures installed. We're not gonna be able to shine all the way on that side of the stage from here, but we'll see. These 2 in the middle might end up living their lives on the sides. That's where I wanted to put them originally, but I decided there wasn't enough room, and then I decided there was enough room, and then I had already put them here. So we'll see. Made a chart for what I want to give them for addresses. So now I'm going to go up. I got these 2 powered on. Enter. Beautiful. Okay, and now let's go to, what is it, run mode maybe? Nope, auto test. We want it in DMX mode. Setup. Not what I want. Means it's got to be address. Come on. Manual test, auto test. Ah. There it is. 15 channel mode, enter. Beautiful. Okay, so this one should be good, 426. Oh crap, this one's supposed to be 411. Oh well, we'll fix it. 411, enter. Beautiful. Okay, menu. Down, this one's 426. Ah, nice. Enter. Click on the menu screen, go to run mode, enter, and then enter, and then down to 15 channel mode, enter. Beautiful. Venue, 426, 411. 426, 411. Love it. These two fixtures should be ready to go. How I programmed and stored different looks and positions, that's an interesting question. So we use Vista 3 as our lighting system. So I created position presets for the fixtures that I can recall per cue in our Sunday service. We have cues set up for each part of our service that control the main fixtures. House lights, under the mezzanine lights, these new R2X wash lights, intensity and positions are stored in those presets. Then Vista also controls Resolute Marina, which controls the 17,000 LEDs on our stage design that I built. How is all of this going with volunteers? So I ran lights for the first couple of weeks after installing this new system and pretty quickly updated our cue stack for our entire service so that my volunteers are basically just clicking through the service cues and then the system is doing the rest. As long as they know when to click to the next cue, there's not much else to do. In this same cue stack, we also have cues to trigger the Resolume computer, which controls the stained glass window design that I built this year. We use the rows to create some nice looks for the service. Then the lighting software triggers the columns for each part of the service. So as my team clicks through the lighting cues, they're basically controlling all of the pre-built positions on the fixtures, the lighting presets, and the content on the wall all at the same time. How do we keep our lighting flexible for a multi-purpose space? So when we do a special event like a conference in our room where I am primarily running lights, I'm going to create a new cue list and then create the basic cues like pre-service, worship, speaking, and then I'll go to the appropriate cues whenever I need to. If I don't have specific cues set up, I'll do more busking, so deciding in the moment what lights I need to have doing what. Especially on the stage window design, I rarely stick with the static pre-built content when I'm running lights. For the new R2X lights, if I need lights aimed at a unique location, I will set up a preset that I can click on to recall that position data and intensity data for those specific fixtures. One of the things that I decided rather early on is that I really want to not show the audience the lights moving. So one of the things I learned rather quickly is that I don't have enough fixtures to have the worship lights on and then turn the speaking lights on while the worship lights fade out. I just don't have enough fixtures to do fade one while the other one fades out. So either I get more lights or I'm creative in how I move things to the podium. One of the solutions I came up with was to fade all the lights out, then move them rapidly dark, then fade them back in. The problem is that I don't have enough fixtures to have lights on while all the lights are moving. So I have gotten creative in figuring out how to keep some of them on or move some of them and then move the rest of them. So that's been fun. I have been trying to use 4 of the old fixtures. I've got 2 pointed at 2 different positions so that I can have some light on different places while the other lights are moving. Plus, I don't currently have enough lights to put lights on the 4 band positions in the backline band, so that's been helpful with trying to keep things bright. We are going to add some more R2Xs so that I don't have to worry about it. A part of our lights being run by volunteers is that on Wednesday nights, we make changes and edit any updates we need for the weekend service. If we're doing baptisms or we're doing communion, we need to be able to copy and paste these different sections, these different cues from the end of the cue list back to where they need to be utilized in the service. Also, I make adjustments on Wednesday nights to make sure that our lights are going to do what we want them to do during the service. What has been the biggest difference in how our service feels now? So at the time that we decided to make this project happen, we had frequently been having issues with bulbs burning out. Now, fortunately, we do have a man lift, so it's not a problem to change them, but with how busy our facility is, we only have so many time slots per week to get in there and make adjustments. There, for a few weeks, I had not found an opportunity to change the bulb on the fixture aimed at the podium, so the one side of our pastor was dark. It did not look great. Situations like this had caused this to become a stronger felt need, and I had already proposed a solution to do exactly what we did. So the time felt right, and we ended up pulling the trigger on this 4 weeks before a big conference that our church hosts every year. We thought with this conference coming up, now is the right time to do it. We used capital money that we had intended to spend on new live streaming cameras, but we felt that the need for better lighting on stage outweighed the need for the cameras. With that event coming up, it was also a great time to do it. So I installed them early that week, and then I had a couple of days to work with them during the event and then before church on Sunday. Our lighting has significantly improved in both quality, brightness, and the ability to change the positions are just huge. Some of these old spotlights just put out so little light that they are better left off. For that conference, I was able to aim lights over at the table for the moderators to conduct the business meetings. This is something I would have had to reposition lights for, then move them back for Sunday morning. In that case, the chairs that we move so frequently after church every Sunday, stacking them and rolling them into storage, are actually in the way for the first time ever. Of course, there are next steps. We're going to go ahead and add 2 more R2X fixtures to brighten up the band and give me more flexibility. We also have started a worship choir, so we're looking for solutions to brighten them up a bit. I intend to hang some fixtures in the above stage area aimed at the choir. I'm also considering some hair lighting for the speaker at the podium to help separate them and any other presenter from the background. Now, let's look at some of my worst mistakes when I first installed these lights. One funny thing was I didn't fully have a grasp of the position thing, so the lights, where's a pen? We'll use this screwdriver as a pen. Because I didn't fully understand the position thing, the lights would spin to get to the next position. So we need to go from here to here, but they would do this. And it was just wild, right? I also didn't have a grasp of how to get them to move without being on. So that was a learning curve. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I do offer one-on-one training sessions via Zoom if you want to work on your church's lighting or ProPresenter or live streaming or anything else you have going on. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.